There we go. We are live on all the socials.
Hey, everybody. How's
What's
it going?
going on?
Lots and lots of whiskey.
I am so out of it. I don't even have any Villa stuff up behind me.
Oh, you're all right.
Nah, fuck it. It's not Villa time.
Yeah, for anybody that wanted to know if they wanted to have a cocktail in D.C., they don't exist anymore.
Nope.
Melissa Houston drank them all.
All of the cocktails.
All the cocktails
All
last
the
night?
Cocktails.
So she's a little foggy today. It's been a big nappy day for you. Big,
Has it?
solid nappy day
I
for
don't
you.
recall. I've just been asleep all day.
Yeah, exactly. Don't recall because you've been asleep the entire fucking time. Graham writing down his bet right now. He's on a tear currently in real betting.
Yes, I am.
So he wants to, sweat his dick.
I made about a G this weekend.
There you go, buddy.
Total.
My God. Who's more ahead, you or Pat?
Me, I think.
Pat in the betting segment's like almost
In the segment for the show,
he's almost 1,000 up.
He's way up. Yeah. But I'm talking about cold hard American dollars.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
who knows how much of that he actually did.
Oh, good. We need an iPad.
My kids already took it from me. Sorry.
Oh, that's fun.
All right, we're ready to do a show, everybody?
I mean, sure. Why not?
Sure, why not? How about you, Mr. Eisenphone?
Ready to go?
All right, there we go. How
Couldn't you
about that?
tell by my eyes being in my phone?
That is my fault. That is normally how one tells.
This is the signal. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
This is Mike Rice, Man U supporter. A drinking game suggestion. Big Sam makes a point. Graham makes it about fucking Arsenal. You're listening to the DU Football Show.
He's not wrong, and the what the fucks fucking hit. I think they worked very well. Even
I
though
guess.
she messed up twice, she messed up well.
A blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
And I got to experience some of your Arsenal brethren this weekend on Twitter. We'll get to that. So
I'm sorry.
let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston?
Arsenal fans have another Sam. Right day, the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of my lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the World Cup as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me is Arsenal internet great, Mr. Samuel Graham. Sammy, how you doing, buddy?
I am probably the best person on the internet, period, that supports Arsenal Football Club.
If we are basing it off of Arsenal, Simon Firehawk you. Yeah.
Okay.
And,
I don't know how I felt a third.
and
Thanks.
then a big drop, and then all of London proper.
Yeah. So if you really want an insight as to Arsenal Twitter,
Yeah.
especially specifically, it manifested itself about 12 years ago on AFTV.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, that is it.
And this is where AFTV resided prior to that being a thing.
I'm pretty convinced I had conversations with guys that have been on AFTV before. I'm very convinced of that.
100%.
We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out on all podcast platforms. Please rate, subscribe, review, and share with a footballing friend. Now, should you want to chat with us, and boy, did people chat with us, should somebody want to chat with us, how do they go about doing it, Mr. Graham?
Absolutely. It is at DU Football Show on all the social medias. Twitter, that would be Big Sam Manning. I do the Instagram. Where is apparently Yitler finds his porn, which I find strange because Pornhub's available and that actually shows real porn,
Yeah.
but that's fine. And then the other one, dufootballshow@gmail.com. Sorry, brain fart. I was stuck in Kanye joke land in my head.
It's all that. It's
if
all
you
that
want to
hair.
get in touch via email.
It's all that hair fucking seeping into your brain, making it hard for you to think. That's
I know,
exactly how
right?
it works. So, before we go ahead and get into the boo segment, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So I was on Twitter this weekend, and one of the many, as we know, I'm an Everton supporter. One of the many different Everton handles put up a little video of Leighton Baines, like a little highlight reel, and said, best Premier left back in the history of the or best left back in the history of the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
And this, of course, as always, these are put up to prompt reaction, right? This is how this works, and typically it's a lot of Reds immediately talking shit.
Well, right. That's what I was going to say. Your first mistake was to go to the comment section and actually have any of your brethren be commenting on it.
You're right.
A video like that, it is literally for the trolls to engage and get clicks for Everton Football Club.
And my fault for coming to this with reason and logic and understanding of all sides. This was my flaw.
Yeah.
But also because it's the comments, the topic of left back, this also naturally brings out another two groups of fan base. This brings out the Chelsea supporters, and this brings out the Arsenal supporters.
For the
because-
same person for once.
For what reason?
Ashley Cole.
Right. Now we here on the show have had this discussion before. We both have different opinions on the matter. I think that it's Leighton Baines. You think that it's Ashley Cole.
Yep.
And we can.
The most coherent thing that you said from Twitter is that Patrice Evra should be in that conversation.
Well, that was somebody else who said it.
I
There was
know.
Someone else.
I'm
who
just
said
saying
it.
that's the most coherent thought that was in that thread.
All right. So, but it's very simple. There are two ways. No, let's not get away from the most important point. It's a fucking opinion. This means I'm allowed to have an opinion that is different than yours,
But in
and
this
you are allowed
age-
to have an opinion that is different than mine. And while we can disagree, we can understand the small, simple fact that it is an opinion.
Listen, Dad.
My opinion could be wrong in your opinion, and that is your opinion. But again, this is a fucking opinion. Okay, please.
You've been on the internet for the last
I know.
election cycle.
I know, but it's my first time really interacting
Engaging?
with footy Twitter, where I wake up in the morning and I have.
I was just about to say
Yeah.
that.
And I have 30 notifications. I'm like, well, England woke up and decided to read this tweet today. Yes, Mrs. Houston.
Mel and I are that James Franco meme.
Yep. Oh yeah.
First time, huh?
Yeah, first time. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know. I'm with you.
On the side of the ship.
So what's funny is of course,
Welcome
it's like
to the trenches, Houston.
now, I bring up the the goals and assists, which Leighton Baines has considerably more than
Yeah, because he
Ashley
took
Cole.
penalties.
Right, of course, but also we don't make that judgment on top goal scorers. We don't talk about it. It gets talked about a little bit when you want to make Thierry Henry the best instead of someone else, right? Like, but it doesn't get talked about religiously.
But Thierry Henry was the best.
That's okay.
Okay.
We're gonna
Let's just start there.
We're just. I don't want to get back to that
No,
Twitter world. We're
you
gonna keep
don't
this going.
fucking bring his name up unless you're praising him, you cunt.
Okay, heard. My apologies. You, much like my buddy Steven, are a modern day genius in footballing mind.
You don't talk about the king.
Yeah, oh, no, the king would be in Manchester United, my friend. He likes to
don't
karate.
even start.
He likes to karate kick people. He was called the king.
Don't even start.
So, anywho, here's
Fucking
the ultimate.
charlatan.
Here's the ultimate debate of that. Right? Is that statistically, Leighton Baines in most statistics, like if you go on to Premier League website, there's 20 statistics. Leighton Baines leads Ashley Cole in 15 of those 20.
Yeah, but you're wrong, dude.
Right.
That's essentially what the response was.
Right. And but that also being said, there can be a debate that Ashley Cole leads in two of the most important goals conceded in clean sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Now, but you could also then say, well, Ashley Cole played for two of the best clubs at that time in the Prem. the greater parts help lead to those numbers, not the individual.
But I mean,
player.
that's all of it, though.
right. Of course.
That's any position.
Again, all of this is an opinion. It's open for interpretation, and you and I sit on opposite ends of the fence on this.
It's especially with wingbacks.
Yeah.
In that debate, just as a general rule of thumb, you have to look at it from either side. Nobody would call Trent Alexander-Arnold a great right back.
Oh God, no.
But if you're talking about defenders that attack well, he's one of the best to ever do it.
Oh God, yeah. Yeah.
The way he whips and
absolutely.
crosses his free kicks. Kieran Trippier, kind of the same thing, until he went to Spain for a couple of years and learned how to defend
'Cause he
properly from
played for
Simeone.
Yeah, played at Atletico.
But like, so that's what you can't like best all around. I mean, there's so many different. You can spin anything however you want to. Because attacking wise, Leighton Baines is the best one. Period. Because he scored all the goals and has all the assists.
So just in case.
But defending wise,
right.
it's Ashley Cole if you just look at goals conceded, which is ultimately what a defense is based on.
But then if you look at tackles, one-on-ones.
Yeah, but how many tackles would Ashley Cole have had Arsenal not been that good?
Right. Interceptions, all that kind of stuff. Leighton Baines way outranks him in those things.
Oh, of course he does, because when you're the best player as a left back for a shitty team, what do you expect?
but also one would say the art of defending is challenges one, tackles one.
Listen, I was a defender,
Right.
okay, and it was how many people you could make bleed. Okay, that was number one.
How much
also,
could you make Wayne kick his little legs for fan number 99 over there?
Exactly
That's
right.
all that mattered.
yeah.
So I
You
wanna-
also have to take into account the marketability. Ashley Cole, very attractive man, was also married to a British pop star. Leighton Baines looks like he is a backup dancer for the Killers.
Not even a he just looks like a homeless man that has a guitar.
And a rucksack.
But anyway,
Couch
'cause
surfing.
we're gonna get away from that part of it, right? Because we both have different opinions on it, and somehow you and I have managed to agree to disagree.
I mean, you have an opinion.
Yeah.
I have a fact.
Okay, very good.
That's what I have.
Love it.
Send.
Now, but what would happen is and even in there, somebody's like, oh, I guess, defending means nothing. And I'm like, well, if you look at the Premier League stats, Leighton Baines actually leads Ashley Cole in almost all defensive stats, except for goals conceded and shutouts. And I said, there's two trains of thought. You either look at all the numbers and say that it's Baines, or you look at these numbers and say that these numbers are more important, which can be argued. And I would agree that can be argued.
Mm-hmm.
And here you go. This is why we think it's this one or this one. And then just like, no, you can't. He doesn't defend. I'm like, just shut the... And I'm not going back. I'm not like, if you don't have the common sense to read a whole fucking thread of everything, fuck you. You're a mouth breather. Yeah. You're a low common denominator.
Well, Harry Kane got in touch?
Yeah, exactly. You just fucking read... Just because I make those points, and I even concede at those points, right? And at that point, somebody goes, well, Evra's better than him. Well, okay, then you could also make the debate that Evra's better than Ashley Cole because he conceded less goals, he had more shutouts, and he won more titles than Ashley Cole did.
Yeah.
So if you're basing it off of that opinion, then there's two people that are now beating Ashley Cole for best of all time. But I really like the ones that I was getting, whereas like...
Except for they aren't, because I'm right.
Yeah, very good. I was really enjoying the ones that I was getting that were just like, he was the greatest left back to ever play, so that's my end argument. I don't care how many he could have... Leighton Baines could have scored 200 more.
Yeah.
Could have scored 200 more.
And conceded 400 less.
It doesn't matter. Greatest left back ever. That makes it... I was like, and then at this point, me being me, right? It's like, oh, it's time to dole on the charm. Like, you know what, Steven? You convinced me. You're right. You are a modern day genius and a great footballing mind. I apologize. And then other people, like someone chimed in, he was like, Robertson. And I'm like, well, you know what? Andy Robertson has considerably less goals than Leighton Baines.
But he's also played 1,000 games less than Leighton Baines.
But he also has the exact same number of assists. So the next assist Andy Robertson makes him the all-time for left backs, makes him the all-time for defenders, because right now that is owned by Leighton. That stat is owned by Leighton Baines.
Right.
And I even say to the guy, because the guy's clearly trying to goat me, and I was like, was like, oh, I'm willing to concede that when his career's over and we're looking at that list, Andy Robertson's probably going to be the best left back to play the game.
No, but it's Twitter and it's here now, and I'm correct and you're fucking wrong just because you're there.
And then
You come on here trying to promote a football show.
somebody said I was doing, well, that'll get to that one. Then somebody tried to do, these XG stats. I'm like, oh, no. These are not XG. This is.
You must believe in XG, and that what the guy said
Yeah.
to you?
These are the stats on the Premier League website.
Yeah, but they have different stats that say different things. Don't you know?
I know.
Everybody is now entitled to their own facts.
I fucking love it. It's so, and then yes, one person did the, it's a pretty shit take for somebody who's trying to promote a podcast. And then, the charm. Oh, you know what?
I'll shut
Thank
the
you.
whole thing down.
No,
Fuck it.
No. This is the
You know
difference
what?
between-
You're right. I'm going to pack this up and quit.
This is the difference between Graham and I. Graham would be like, all right, give me your address. I'm flying over.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I will skull
Fuck you up.
I will skull fuck you in both of your eye sockets while your family watches. Me, on the other hand, goes, you know what? Thank you so much for your opinion. I appreciate that. And we here at the show recognize that people have opinions. And they are, in fact, opinions. Now, I just want to say...
But you got to notice, too, you got to remember the British have the unique perspective of having people like Paul Scholes, Graham Souness, Robbie Savage, Michael Owen gracing their television screens all the time.
That's okay.
Well, Graham Souness the other day, 2 days ago, whatever it was, or yesterday maybe, in the build-up to the France game, was talking about how Giroud's not one of the greatest ever French forwards, even though he went on to score, topping Thierry Henry for France's all-time leading goal-scoring record. And then also the part that he played in the 2018 win, which plain as day is for everybody to see. Grant, I'm not having that. He didn't score a goal. Yeah, but he did a lot of other shit.
He did everything.
A lot of other shit.
No,
Hugo Lloris hadn't scored a goal either. You think is his like what the fuck are you on
A lot of other
about?
shit, as in he did
Everything. Yeah.
everything.
It's just like what are you talking about? So they're used to that kind of divisive,
Oh, of course.
hot take punditry,
And
which is just bollocks.
And their BBT talk, like their live call-in shows, are no better than sports talk here in the United
No.
States. So whenever they want to be like, oh, you football, NBA, blah, 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 they want to do that shit back at us. It's like, dude, I listen to your fucking shows. Like, seriously, I listen to your shows. Oh, and then if I agreed with somebody, like crickets, like,
Of course.
yeah, agreed. Like, oh, yeah, Robertson probably at the end of the day will be the best left back. Nothing from that guy. Like, okay. I mean, I agreed with you. I agreed with you.
Yeah, well, he won. He turned his phone off.
Exactly.
That's enough for today. Or he
So-
moved on to somebody else to fight with.
So I am excited to see what tomorrow morning brings. And what's even better is that I'm sure that either Nell or Steven, some of those great footballing minds, are watching right fucking now. I won, asshole. I fucking won. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry and both have a deep, passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So is the red-blooded Americans we are. We vow to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show, as much as it might piss off the Brits. Sam, what are we drinking tonight?
We're drinking some very good Peerless single barrel rye whiskey that comes in at 108.9 proof, which would be 54.4 5
Yep, this is from Cinder in
percent alcohol by volume.
Yep, this would be Cinder from in DC barbecue joint.
There you go.
And Northeast, out in the Petworth Village.
I see it.
Mr. Matt Krim knows a thing or two about whiskey. He has.
It's fucking delicious.
I love Bill Thomas at Jack Rose. I do. I think Matt Krim has the best fucking palate in the city. I think he has one of the best fucking palates in the country. The guy really knows his shit. Like, and I
walk around with a blender though?
No, but if he fucking did,
then fuck that guy.
I mean, why this is not being blended with Hypno, I don't fucking know. Our purity and innocence has been stolen from us because of it.
More on that Patreon.com/DU Football Show and check out Soundcheck from this week.
Yes, Steve, in case you want to give me $5 to hear my opinion there too, asshole.
Hey, for him, it'll only be £3.50.
The chat room thinks we have a new segment, Big Sam's Alternative Facts.
Well, he's got the
I love
documents.
I love it. I don't mind one, but see, but that's the beauty is that the chat room is they're allowed to have a different opinion than me, and I know in that argument I'm on the lower end, right?
I mean, you're on right now. You sound a lot like that Republican senator that brought in a snowball from outside trying to prove that climate change was incorrect.
I hear you. Yeah.
Look, it's snowing.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard about these people on the internet arguing?
Yeah.
It's so naive. It's cute.
I love him.
You know, I mean, a lot of people make a case for Cole. There's still people who make a case for Irwin as well. Patrice Evra, there's definitely a case for.
There's definitely a case for him.
I think there's absolutely positively a case for Leighton.
I mean, and honorable mention, there's a case for Wayne Bridge after what John Terry did to his wife.
Very good.
So-
yes, ma'am. What do you want? You need to see the bottle. Got it. So, like I said, this was a single barrel selection from him.
What'd you pay for it?
It was $75.
All right, not too
75,
shabby.
so, yeah, and he sells it at his DC now allows cash and carry. That's one of the fun things off of COVID.
Yep.
So now all the restaurants that have really good whiskey selections can still sell whiskey as well, which
That's
is
good.
good. So a lot of them now are more prone to do a whiskey barrel selection
yeah.
because they can sell it cash and carry out the door. And they'll sell it at more of a retail price. They won't sell it at a marked up
At the
restaurant
marked up,
price.
But it's delicious. You get a lot of caramel up front. A good mid palate with the alcohol. It's got a nice heat to it, but not overpowering.
It's a heavy corn. It's a heavy corn.
And then it
mash bill.
finishes with just enough pepper that you know it's a rye, but it's not big time peppery.
Yeah. It's
It's very good.
get a little eucalyptus mint there in the
Mm-hmm.
nose as well. That's really lovely in the aroma. It's a fantastic whiskey. Peerless already, as we know, makes great stuff. They were on Advocates Top 10, which Advocates, they were in the top 10, but they were on top 20 for last year.
I've got a whiskey in the top 10.
Yeah, you saw that today, didn't you?
I did.
Yep. The first three.
Limavady.
Yep,
number
the first,
8.
Yep, first three came out. Nelson's Greenbrier Reserve. And then, of course, another fucking Bruichladdich. Bruichladdich or Port Charlotte, that's the same distillery for people who don't know, makes the list every fucking year.
Yeah.
Every fucking year. So it's going to
I
be...
looked for that Bruichladdich when I saw your Facebook post while I was waiting in line at TDL, and they did not have it.
Oh, now that's the problem too, is because Bruichladdich does everything by like kind of single estate expression. So it's now you have to go find like that fucking release, which
Is going to be hard.
it won't be hard.
I'll
It's just
check them
gonna-
out every tomorrow.
It's just going to take a lot of time to go find it is all. Okay, it's just you got to bounce around and see who has it. And somebody will. And then, of course, Limavady made it for number 8.
Yep.
So I'm very-
Exciting.
tomorrow, it'll be
115 six-packs in stock.
765. And then Wednesday, I'll be 432. Thursday, I'll be number 1. And then Friday, will be 11 through 20. And then you and I go on the
hunt.
On the hunt to get everything. And then
Good thing I'm $1,000 up this weekend.
exactly. And then we'll go out and start reviewing them on the show as we always do, which is a fucking blast.
Yeah, sounds good. Remember to drink responsibly, everybody.
Excellent.
And Santa, you want to hit a button just cuz? Anything?
Oh fuck.
Perfect.
Let's do it.
Find out why I called her Santa on
Injury time. That's her trying to
Santa
do her
did
best
drugs.
at Christmas.
Jesus Christ.
No, a Christmas story is what it sounds like to me.
Sounds like Santa needs that sweet hair on.
Sammy, round 3 was fucking crazy.
It was wild. Only the second time ever that not a single team won all 3 of their opening games. Nobody finished with a perfect 9 points.
I know. How
The
about
other
that?
time was USA 1994.
No shit, really. Yeah. So, fighting for the final spots is each round and each day just got crazier and crazier.
Yes, it
and
did.
Crazier.
The first couple of days were no good for my pocketbook.
Oh no!
Oh, I lost a lot of money on those first couple. I even texted you and Rob. Mm-hmm. I'm done with the fucking group stage.
I'm done with it. Get it out of here. we can officially say Fuck Qatar is out of the cup. If
Yes.
you didn't know, that's how you properly pronounce their name, is Fuck Qatar or Fuck Qatar. All that matters, as long as you put the word fuck in front of it, you have pronounced it correctly.
That is very insensitive of you. Everybody knows it's pronounced Cunter.
Heard. Very good. She's going to try to make that one stick. Alrighty.
Hopefully it doesn't stink.
Holland advance as they beat Fuck Qatar 2-0.
2-0. They're just a regular professional performance. They just didn't really
Right.
even have to try hard.
But really, the match that was worth talking about in that group stage was Ecuador versus Senegal. And Senegal's, you know what? There's something that we're going to start to get to as we go through this. Veteran craftiness in most instances did not let teams down, and that was definitely the case here for Senegal.
Absolutely. Ecuador, one of the younger teams we've spoke about, but very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed throughout the tournament, went toe-to-toe with everyone they played. It was kind of unfortunate, but Senegal, as you say, wily, crafty. Without Mane, it's been difficult, but they do have a proper spine to their team that was still present.
Yeah.
And it all that experience and all that know-how shone through in that game, and they ended up advancing.
And then when we get to the knockout, a major piece of that was missing, and you could fucking tell.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Going on to Group B, obviously England takes very quick work of Wales beating them 3-0. And really the big one, it came down, especially at least for us in our show, it's USA and Iran.
The Welsh, if I was Welsh, I'd be mad.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even have a proper go at the tournament. It's like
No, they really didn't.
They didn't really give it a try. Like it just they didn't have it. I don't know what it is. They just did not have it. It was like a lot of their performances. The first word that springs to mind was lame. They didn't even try.
It felt like they were trying not
First
to
time
lose.
they've been there since 1956 or whatever.
Yeah, it felt like they were trying not to lose and not get embarrassed.
As opposed to win.
Right. And
Go try to win the fucking game. I'm more proud of what Canada did than what Wales. As you saying, yeah.
Exactly what I was about to say. Exact same opinion.
At least you could go out. I mean, and that maybe that's just me, right?
Fuck it, we're going to throw everything at you.
Like I don't care if I get embarrassed. I'm going to put in effort. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try. If I go down swinging, at least I gave it my all.
Yeah.
I didn't get that at all from this Welsh team.
Yeah, Wales look scared. They honestly look scared.
And I told you, Danny Ward is one of the worst goalkeepers in the world. Doug is terrible. And he was at fault for a lot of what happened after Wayne Hennessy got injured.
Yeah, very true. He was actually. Great scenes for the United States. Scary in the regards of, and this would come back to bite them out in the ass in the knockout stages, is taking advantage of opportunities, because they had a lot of opportunities to be up by a lot more than one goal against Iran. And
they didn't take it. Well, VAR screwed one up because they did score a second goal, but Tim Weah was adjudged to be offside.
Yeah.
I think nothing more perfectly encapsulates the spirit of what this country should be, or which is the antithesis of what Nick Fuentes thinks. But Timothy Weah himself, just personally, exemplifies one way of the American experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
His father, George Weah, he was born, I believe, to an American mother, but I think he was born in London, raised in New York, I think, because George Weah played in England for a little bit.
Yeah.
He's good friends with Arsene Wenger, goes back, and he's the president of his...
Just a box falling out of the...
Oh, it was scary. Well, fuck!
This is my
Oh, fuck! You got a live read. His dad's now the president of Liberia.
Mm-hmm.
He moved to France at like 14 years old to join an academy, and now lives in France.
Yeah.
I think he qualified for like 4 countries, but ended up ultimately choosing the U.S.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. It was a good game. I don't know why people are surprised that the Iranians did a lot of gamesmanship. That's normal from indicative of that part of the world in a lot of cases.
You're down. You have to get a goal in order to try to advance in the cup for the first time ever. Yeah, you're probably going to bend the rules. You're probably going to try to dive a little bit more. You're going to grab your leg a little bit more.
That's
you're
normal.
You're going to try to get this. I mean, And if the shoe was on the other foot, America would have been doing the exact
Well, but
same
there's
thing.
the thing. There's especially from the fan bases, there is and the media, there is a ton of British and American exceptionalism. We don't dive. We're Americans.
Right.
We don't do bullshit.
Yeah.
We've all done it. Bullshit. It's not true.
Right.
You know, the gamesmanship stuff, you know, the Uruguayans stepping in front of the ball at every opportunity, the Argentinians picking the ball up and walking away with it, the Mexicans do titty twisters.
That was El Salvador.
Oh, that was El
Titty
Salvador. You're right. You're
But-
right.
but-
Sorry.
but-
I apologize
but-
to the Mexican fan base.
No, Mexico, the kings of it. Just
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
the game wasn't invented by the Mexicans of shithousery, but it was perfected by the Mexican national team.
But my point is like you can't be that naive to not expect this from continental teams.
Of course.
You can't. It's just ridiculous. It's a ridiculous point, and you're exactly right that given the opportunity, we do the same shit. The English do the same shit.
Down the stretch, it would be the midfielder would go pick up the ball for a throw-in, knowing damn well it's going to be the
wasn't gonna
left
take
or the
it. Yep.
right back that is always taking it. He just grabs it, holds it there for a second, drops it, walks away.
Yeah.
That the goalkeeper, when he gets a free kick, is going to have the ball in front of him, and then he's going to throw it 5 yards in front of him and walk up again. But then because he threw it in front of him, he needs to reset it on the grass to make sure it's perfect. You know this shit's going to happen.
Right. So why I don't understand the exceptionalism bias from anybody associated with the game in any loose kind of way. This is normal shit. It just happens. It's part of the fucking game.
Well, and especially when your life is on the line. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
legitimately,
100%.
Your survival in this cup is, and if you can get that one over to get that one free kick that gets you that header that ties it, worth it.
Yeah.
Fucking worth it.
100%.
Moving on to Group C, Argentina and Poland move on, but fucking crazy day, especially with Mexico, because at one point, if Saudi Arabia hadn't scored, Mexico and Poland would have been level on everything. And the tiebreaker would have been a number of yellow cards.
Number of cards, yeah. It was
And
their fair play ticker.
I was so hoping that Saudi Arabia didn't score, because I just very much wanted that to be the type. Because if you ever wanted to have a, like, oh, fuck you to fucking Mexico, who are, like I said, they're the fucking kings of the game as far as shithousery goes.
Yeah.
And to find out that
shithousery
is what bit them in the ass would have made me laugh my fucking ass
Of
off.
course, especially because they're one of our biggest rivals as the U.S.
Oh yeah, I mean
supporters go. You know what I mean?
We know it oh too well. You know,
course.
Chucky Lozano grabbing Pulisic by the back of the neck and throwing him to the fucking ground and not getting a card. You know, not getting any card. VAR not even looking at it, because it was a Gold Cup match, so VAR could have looked at it and we didn't. You know.
Yeah.
So we've always had this kind of, like, you know, we understand the game and we accept it, but we also fucking hate it.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks when it's happening to you.
Yeah, of course.
But it's part and parcel of the game. That's just how the shit fucking works. And I can't believe when people, they're doing this shit again. Well, yeah. Why are you still surprised by it?
Yep.
And then Fox News getting involved. Thought that was funny.
Oh yeah.
What was he spraying on his leg? That fucking tolerance spray, you twat.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you want about? You've never seen magic spray before? It's
Sattery,
a numbing.
Sattery,
It's
Sattery.
a numbing spray.
Yeah.
Sattery.
It's normal.
He was definitely gender affirming hormones that he was spraying on his leg. Sattery.
But
Sattery,
Sam,
Sattery.
does it make the fucking frogs gay?
Hey, do you understand me?
Idiots.
Graham, I'm going to say it really slow for you.
Gay. Frogs. Stupid.
Group D, the Aussies shock.
Now his knee's gonna be out there trying to suck some balls off.
The Aussies shock everyone.
Yes.
And get through. How fucking great of a match was that? Just a gutsy fucking performance out of the Aussies.
It was delightful.
This was not supposed to be a good year for the Socceroos. This was a down year for them. They always qualify for the World Cup pretty regularly, but this was just it's a lot of younger players. They're kind of growing out of some people, and I would equate them very much to being like what the USA team that did not qualify for the World Cup.
Yeah,
right?
I could.
A lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
really decent
But Oceania's
players,
easy.
But, yeah. Well,
So-
no, they're Asia now. They moved
They
out
are.
of
They
Asia.
did move. They did move. You're right.
Because Oceania has to play in where Asia
Does
gets
not.
in. And yeah, it just they figured it out. They found a way to fucking and this is the case where the crafty wiser team couldn't fucking figure it out.
Yes.
You know, and it comes back to what you said. They just don't have a tip to the spear. They don't have anybody who could score.
Yeah, it is. It's funny to me with all the tactics and the tiki-taka and the shit that happens nowadays and the playing out from the back and all this shit. And it happened in the knockout game, obviously, which we'll come on to. But it's just a really funny point is all those little wee Argentinians, right? What do you do when you run out of ideas or someone's better than you technically? Lump it up to the big man. They put that center back on, put him right at 6'7", put him right up front.
Yep.
And just hoofing balls up to him.
Let him head him.
And it ends up scoring them a goal against Argentina. The guy didn't, but he was involved in it.
He was why.
It's just, it's put the big lad up there. It's just all shit goes out the window when your back's against them. Fuck the tactics. Don't. Big guy, tall guy,
big guy.
Do it. Yeah,
Kick to him.
it's
We'll be
fantastic.
okay.
Yeah. Lissandro Martinez didn't even come up to his nipples.
It's how fucking Peter Crouch made a career for
That's what I'm
himself.
saying.
The big
Yeah.
fucker up there.
Just put the big guy up. Oh, that's
Already.
funny.
Group E was fucking insanity. Absolute insanity. At one point we had Costa Rica
And South Korea going
and
through.
Japan.
Or
going
Japan.
through.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Going
you're right.
through.
Japan was that
because
group
they were both ahead of Spain and Germany.
for 60 seconds.
Yep.
It was those two going through
Yeah.
for 60 seconds, and then the Germans scored.
Damn. Now,
But what a lovely thing. That was a glorious 60 seconds. I
now
was updating the phone. I was like, holy shit, holy shit, holy. Oh, damn.
the. Do you think maybe there was a touch of gamesmanship out of Spain where they were like, we're not going to push this as hard, so we get.
I don't think so because there was at one moment they were fucked.
Yeah. Fair.
So I don't think so.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not sure. I'm sure there was somebody that was there like going, hey, we're out now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just see it
But
out.
I don't think
See it out, leave it where it
intentionally.
is.
Now, Luis Enrique did say that he thought about intentionally trying to finish in second because it would have been an easier route to avoid Brazil,
Right.
supposedly.
Well, and that's exactly what he got.
Right.
Yeah.
But you never know how everything else is going to play out. You know, you don't know how that last game was going to go for Brazil.
Right. Of course.
You don't know. You don't know. So you have it in your hands. Take the chance. And I don't think for a second thought might have crossed his mind, but I don't think that they actually enacted that plan
So Germany find themselves in third
because you
place.
can't guarantee what's happening in the other game. And the other game, you know, it's not like baseball or something where you can affect something very quickly on the drop of a hat. If he got that information at 89 minutes that the other game was going in that direction and you need to score or either need to let one in, you can't affect that quickly.
No,
that
you
may take 5 minutes
Yeah, fair
to work something out.
Yeah,
So
fair enough.
there's no way. If you have it in your hands, you got to play for it.
Right. Now, I'm going to bring up two teams, but I want to wait till the end because there's ultimately four teams I want to talk about, and we'll talk about it when we get to Group H. But right now we have perennial advancers Mexico out, perennial advancers Germany out for the second World Cup in a row.
Another team without a tip to the spear.
Yeah. Moves us on to Group F. Belgium going out. Morocco winning the fucking group.
Yeah. Wild.
Fucking insanity.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what
Absolute
happens
insanity.
when you play a team with an average age of 36 or whatever it is for Belgium. They're all past it.
Yeah,
De Bruyne was saying it the whole tournament. I mean, and it just shows you how fucking fractured the squad is. Because then you had Alderweireld or Vertonghen, whoever it was said last week, was coming back out in the mid. They were having this public spat. That shit should be handled in the dressing room.
all that doesn't matter, Sam. All of that doesn't matter. Only one thing matters.
It's Lukaku's fault.
No.
Oh.
At the end of the match, someone retired. Then someone did a presser. And then what did he do?
Moonwalked right the fuck out.
It's all right in the veins, right here.
More of that, please.
The footy can fuck off. Martinez does his press conference and then moonwalks off the fucking stage.
So apparently it was already said that he wasn't going to continue, but he officially stepped down during the interview.
Right.
Which is funny. Yeah, I'm the fuck out of here. This is my last game in charge. I'm done. And then moonwalked out of the interview.
Fucking brilliant.
Just fantastic.
The fucking best. Absolutely the best.
The only thing that would have been better is if he pulled a sparkly glove out of his pocket. First.
Got up on the toes and gone, hee hee. Brazil advance, and you know what? Switzerland and Serbia was a lot crazier than I expected it to be. I thought it was going to be some boring
so fucking annoyed by that. I was so annoyed by that game. That was the fourth game in a parlay I needed, and the Serbs fucked it off because they lost their head.
Oh, yeah. It was what, final 3-2. Just, it was crazy. I was like, who the fuck brought like goal scoring to the Swiss team? Like, what the fuck is this all about?
Yeah, because the Swiss famously always, they're organized, they work hard, they do everything, they share the goals around, but there's just never a consistent goal scoring threat from them. They're forwards. You think of certain countries that always produce a specific position. Mm-hmm. The U.S. and Germany are typically goalkeepers.
Yep.
The English, goalkeepers and then wingers.
Yeah.
The French, forwards and defenders. The Spanish, midfielders.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Oh, yeah. Very much
right? You think of these places that traditionally have a position that they're really good at developing for whatever reason. The Portuguese, midfielders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Swiss are great at doing everything else, but they've never had, in my opinion, a prolific striker.
No, never.
Football Twitter, get in touch.
All right.
At the Football Show, you fucking twats.
Instagram. Go talk to him on Instagram.
Yeah, and that's the issue. That's the problem for the Swiss. Now they've got this kid, the Cameroonian kid, and this is the other thing I said about the difference between Switzerland and Belgium. You don't normally get surrounding the Swiss squad this kind of fractured, and it's weird because they are still also a francophone nation. You typically get this with the French and the Belgians,
right?
To an extent, the Germans, but the Swiss, you don't have all this surrounding of, he was born here and now he's, Granit Xhaka is Armenian, by birth, but he represents the Swiss. His brother actually represents Armenia still.
Oh, yeah.
You get all this kind of stuff, and when those players play poorly, the Belgians, Lukaku said it. I know I've harped about this before on the show, but he's Congolese-born Belgian striker Romelu Lukaku when things go poorly.
Of course.
When things go well, he's Belgian striker Romelu Lukaku, and they drop his country of birth from it. The Swiss don't really have that. I thought it was very touching, actually, when I can't remember his name now. Actually, I'm blanking on it. The young forward.
Yeah, I'm forgetting his name as well.
He scored against Cameroon, which was the country of his birth. Muted celebration. Hand up. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I scored a goal. Yay. But
team did what they're supposed to do. Surround him.
Yep.
Surround him. Hug him.
But
you scored.
And he had another goal in this game.
Yep.
And it was very, very well done from the Swiss. I don't think they're going to go very far.
No.
Because I don't think this goal scoring situation is sustainable.
Well, because this is what Switzerland does. They get to the knockout stage and then they quietly go out.
Yeah, but Serbia.
I mean, in every tournament, because Sam, they are white people taco night.
Yeah, plain,
what they
boring.
are.
Yeah,
but they get the taco shells from the grocery store and ground beef.
They did what they had to do. It's a shame that the Serbians are going home because they've been a really fun team to watch. But they conceded 8 fucking goals in 3 games in the group stage. You can't do that.
And Ortega sauce from the grocery store.
I'm sad Mitro's going home, to be honest with you, because he's fun to have around.
Yeah, I would have liked to see. I thought they would have been a little more fun in the second round than Switzerland, but we talked about it before. It's Switzerland. It's what they do. They advance in every fucking tournament.
The only time they're not neutral is every 2 years during the group stage. Then they go back to being neutral again.
Yep, exactly. Group H, this honestly really did prove to be the group of death because even Ghana got in it, and every single team going into that final day had a chance. Now, Ghana fucked it right off by doing what?
Uruguay.
Missing a fucking penalty.
Yeah. But they were able to do enough to also see Uruguay get eliminated from the tournament, which is
what was
a sweet,
funny.
sweet silver lining.
that at some point they went, we could go for it and maybe advance, or we could just pack it in and fuck Uruguay. We're gonna fuck Uruguay.
Oh yeah, and Luis Suarez crying in the dugout after. Put it straight in my veins, please.
Oh, that was.
I'm totally here for it.
I want to just go
Love
up
that.
him by the face and lick his tears off of him, yes.
Careful, he bites.
They taste so good. They taste so sweet.
Yeah, but I mean, you
Good news,
look like a savory treat, my
I
friend.
was gonna say, good news. I'm a white guy. He won't say anything racist to me. Jesus.
He might.
He might.
They don't
find
really
a
like
way.
the gringos down there either, my friend.
So let's get.
I did have a quick about Cameroon. Did you see Vincent Abubakar, who for some reason manufactured a beef with Mohamed Salah?
Yeah.
Did you see this?
Yes, I did.
I say he's a better striker than Salah. Scores. I wanted to bring it up. We moved on quickly. Scores his goal, right? Rips his shirt off, second yellow, and for about 60 seconds, 2 minutes, Cameroon were actually going through. And then Serbia switched on them, went crazy again.
Yeah.
And they ended up not going through. But had they held on, the Serbs, Cameroon may have gone through with, I think it was with a draw, Cameroon would have went through.
Yeah.
And Abubakar scored that goal, ripped his shirt off, got a second yellow, gave the referee a high five. Thanks.
Yeah.
And then he would have been suspended.
Yeah.
I guess luckily they didn't go through, but he was just like, I'm going to do all of it. He had an assist.
I got my moment.
He got
This
a
is
good
me.
tackle. Yeah.
Everybody gonna look me in my world. Fuck all y'all. My house.
Brilliant.
Fucking fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant.
All right, so Sam, I'm going to finish up the segment with the bigger question. Mexico, Germany, Belgium, Uruguay. Make a case for each, but ultimately we know that Belgium is the biggest embarrassment to go out of the cup.
Probably. Did they score a goal?
Yeah, they scored a goal against Canada.
Against
They scored
Canada. One goal with the best creative midfielder in the world at
Yeah.
their fingertips. Yeah. That just goes to show.
Germany,
I mean, it's pitiful.
Germany, I would say, was ultimately in a tricky group. We said from the get-go, like when we previewed the World Cup, we said Japan's going to get someone.
And they ended up getting both.
Yeah, like don't underestimate Japan.
I had money on them today.
Japan
Fuckers.
Japan gets through the cup. They get through the group stages, and they do it quite frequently. And you need to be very aware of them. They are a sneaky fucking good team.
Yep.
And then in the case of Mexico, they've been in turmoil now. They did not do well.
I saw somebody saying Tata Martino is like the worst coach in the history of the world. And I was like, I don't know if I go that far.
A lot of it is on the players too, and the unrealistic expectations of the fans. Like they just expect them to be the greatest team in the world. And I'm not saying that the program's not good, and I'm not saying that this is a team that a country that I see that at some point in time does actually win a World Cup, because they're the kind of country and the kind of program that is good enough to do it. Right? They really are. But
They can't stay out of their own way in a lot.
That's one of the big things.
Yeah.
But they limped their way. They were third place in the CONCACAF hex, and they weren't good.
Well, they're coming to the end of a cycle.
Very much
They're
so.
moving on some
Very
players.
much so.
And some pretty important players they're moving on, and they don't really have anybody coming up. Because some of those guys, Hector Herrera, for instance, would have already been replaced. Mm-hmm. Despite how good he's been, if they had someone there, and they just don't.
And then,
so I honestly, I worry for Mexico. I mean, I don't, because we're rivals with them.
They are in the next World Cup because they're a host nation. So,
Right.
I mean, it's but
But
really,
after that, I mean, they could bomb out in the group again.
Yeah,
in a very spectacular way. But guess who'll be there? Ochoa.
Yep.
Guillermo Ochoa will be there, and he'll look younger than he does today, guaranteed.
I've got another hibernation person for you in the next segment when we get to the knockout stages.
right.
There was one we forgot about for hibernation. Only the greatest center back in the world. But anywho, now moving on to
You say Virgil van Dijk
no.
only
you-
plays at a World Cup.
No.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about. It'll take a few moments. It'll come to you.
Harry Maguire.
Nope. Sam, wait for it. I'm edging you right now. You'll be okay. You'll be happy later when I tell you. But Mexico also, it's worth mentioning, 3 major competitions in a row, 3 important 4-title competitions in a row. U.S. fucking beat them.
Yep.
Like that's a shift. And
Yep.
and the United States team is real fucking young. So that is you're seeing a team trending up and a team trending down.
I think the U.S., and we'll come on to it when we talk about the U.S. and Holland. I think that we are coming into a bit of a golden generation. And if we don't quickly sort out our striker situation, I think we're going to have that golden generation and be disappointed like Belgium are.
Now, the final one, Uruguay. I really think this World Cup was going to be a wash for them. One, they were in a horrifically hard group, like just a very, very tough. There are no easy outs in that group. Those are all teams who perennially have made it to the second round, to the knockout stages. So these are all good clubs. And it was also one of those groups where there isn't a great team here. Like, sure, Portugal's good. They're not great.
Right.
There's plenty of other teams I think that are way better than Portugal, And I think ultimately what it was for Uruguay, they need to age out of Suarez and Cavani.
Yeah.
And that
Well, the problem is Darwin Nunez is dumb as a fucking doornail.
Now we make fun of that because he's a big old mouth breather like Harry Kane. But at some point,
Harry Kane's good at football, though.
Right. But at some point, if those guys are gone, it then becomes Darwin Nunez's team.
Well, yeah,
While
fair.
he's on the pitch with them, and he's on
the
pitch
understudy
with
still.
One
Yeah.
or the other of them the entire fucking time. He's the understudy.
Mm-hmm.
He's the understudy. So I think for them, unfortunate that they're exited out, but they were in a tough group. It's how it is. If they were in some of these other groups, they would have been through easily.
I have another point. The Argentinians and the Uruguayans with shithousery, because they're both very good at it.
Yeah.
They are productive shithouses.
Yeah.
Their shithousery leads to things like what happened in Ghana in 2014 or 10 or whatever it was. And why this is a rivalry, Ghana and Uruguay.
Right.
With the red card from Suarez, saving that penalty. With the biting of the Italian. Like, everybody just started thinking about the incident, and then the Uruguay sneak past and win the game somehow, right?
Yep.
Mexico does the shithousery, but they get caught up doing the shithousery. And they're so focused on the shithousery, they lose the task at hand. Does that make sense?
It does.
What do you think about that?
I was going to say, Mexico shithousery accounts to something, and exiting out of the cup. With all that craziness, with all the insanity that was the final round of matches in the opening group stages, it's gotten really chalky really quick.
Yes, it has.
It seems like the veteran, experienced squads have started to show their way through, and we start right off the jump with Holland and the United States.
Yeah, I think if we have a proper striker, that's a different story.
I
the
agree.
chance fell to who it should have fallen to. I argue that Pulisic probably thought he was offsides.
Oh, I think he definitely thought he was offsides.
And what I would say is, despite the clubs he's played for, despite being a mainstay in the national team now for a number of years, I think that he let that get to him instead of just finishing the playoff as he should have.
Oh, yeah, you got to put that away and let VAR tell you.
Let
you're
VAR
off.
figure it out. And I think
put it away.
that then affected the rest of his performance.
Oh, agreed.
Which is annoying. I man for man, I don't think the Dutch were better than we were.
I think the strength of the United States, which has been the midfield with McKinney and Musa and Tyler Adams, and then Aronson coming in for McKinney, because McKinney's not even 100%.
No.
Especially for Musa, because Musa put everything into the Iran match.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think they had anything left in the fucking tank.
No,
and I
it's
think
very
it
hard
showed.
to get yourself up that many times in a row.
Especially both of the goals in the first half was a trailing attacker at the top of the 18.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, oh, well, the two center backs were inside the 6. Why weren't they on him? That's not their
That
job.
wasn't their job, yeah.
It
wasn't them.
I mean, I love fucking Tyler. That was Tyler's job. He missed his mark. That's why that ball went in the back of the net. He missed his mark.
The Dutch were more clinical.
Yeah.
Period.
They found opportunities and they scored.
We had the chances.
Oh, God,
we just
we
didn't
had
put them
chances.
away.
Yeah.
Which is kind of my point. We need a tip to our spear now. And if we don't develop one over the next 4 years, I could see the same exact exit happening in 4 years' time.
Yeah, because besides the three that were on the team, you also still have Daryl Dike as well, who's over at West Brom, who's really shown a lot of ability, and he's just got natural raw athleticism that's undeniable. And then it's PK, who's playing over with Sweden, the boys. Why am I forgetting their name? The Swiss team. They're not the Proud Boys. The good boys. The fucking. There's a Swiss
Young Boys.
Young Boys. That's it. Yeah, he plays
Is
for
it
them.
Young Boys? I think
It's Young Boys.
I
It's
think
Young
it's
Boys. Yeah, it's Young Boys. It's the Swiss squad, the Young Boys.
Yeah.
That he plays there and scored last season. Scored 35 fucking goals for him. So there's pieces. The problem is that every single one of those tips is the spear are all like fucking 20 years old. We
Right.
haven't figured out who the fuck it is yet.
Yeah. So if we can sort that, I think our midfield is stacked. I think our D looks decent.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Turner's obviously a very good goalkeeper. A couple of very big saves in this one as well.
Also, the United States is a goalkeeping academy, so there's always going to be
A
Mel
good
said we're right.
goalkeeper.
It was Young Boys.
Yeah.
So there are, if it's not Turner, Zach Steffen might get his act together. You know, Billy Hamid, I think it's past him, but there's plenty of great keepers. And
for sure.
Johnston, who was on the squad. There's a shit ton of great keepers.
Oh, yeah.
And USA will always have another great keeper. I mean, we think
always do.
Well, we think of Timmy Howard, you know, the defense, but you had
At the same time, you had Friedel and Keller.
Friedel, Keller, fucking Miola back in the day. Like there is never
those dreadful jean jacket jerseys. Those were terrible.
there has never not been a good keeper in the net for the United States.
Yeah, for sure.
Like just always there has been.
So we have the pieces, and we finally got most of our outfield players are playing in Europe regularly for big, decent clubs. Now we just need to take that next step.
Right.
Now we need to find that striker. And I you know what this game called out for? And I found myself hating myself for it. With this game called out for Josie Altidore.
Yeah, it kind of
This game screamed, I need a point man up front.
Yeah, a
and we
guy
just
like
did
Josie.
not fucking have one.
A big fucker that would occupy fucking Van Dyke's time.
That would
That's
occupy
what
two
you needed.
defenders, exactly, or somebody to lay it off to all of our pacey, fun, crazy wingers. And is it Julian Alvarez? What's his name? The number 9 that started alongside Pulisic up
Pereira.
Pereira.
Yeah.
Sorry. He
Plays for FC Dallas.
yeah, just he did nothing in this game for me. It was
Well,
like we had 10 men.
I don't think he would have started if Sargent was healthy. I think Sargent probably would
Where's
have
De La
started.
Torre? Where's all these people that were lighting up MLS like crazy that have
It's-
turned out for the national team
Yeah,
before?
yeah, they
Use them.
I think they had too many of the exact same person. Because like I said, I just mentioned Daryl Dike and as I said, I would say PK, something like that. Who plays for Young Boys as well. Like they're all kind of the same person because they're all kind of the same age too. It's just, but all that being said, let's turn around. You got to give credit to the Dutch.
They took their chances. The first one was the only
They
goal
played a
that wasn't
perfect-
our fault.
Yeah, they played a perfectly executed match of football.
The first goal was a quick counterattack that was very brilliantly executed.
Yeah.
The other two were defenders on the far side that lost their mark.
Yeah,
That were
big
caught
time.
ball watching. And those two goals from Daley Blint and Denzel Dumfries were both unmarked at the back stick.
Yeah.
Easy days. They were
their
licking their
wing-
fucking chops.
Their wingbacks scored
And assisted each
open
other.
sitter nets. Like just,
Yep.
that's bad.
But that's our fault. That's something we can correct and grow from. That's something we hadn't done all tournament. And like you said, they left everything on the field in that Iran game and burned so much energy. I don't know that they had the mental capacity to lift themselves again.
One final question. How long before we see Musa?
But this is why, I'm sorry, this is why that Wales result is so fucking annoying.
Because we should have won.
And we would have been able to not coast necessarily, but we wouldn't have had to put in so much mentally and physically into that Iran game.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we would have been fine.
We could have drew that game and it wouldn't have mattered.
And it wouldn't have mattered.
We could have
could
have let Claudio Reyna play that entire game. Which
exactly.
We should have done.
And then we could have came back for the Dutch a bit fresher.
Yeah.
And I think we could have had a different story.
Some of that does come down to coaching too. I think Berhalter probably is in over his head a little, but also honestly, after we went out and got Klinsmann and that was a fucking disaster.
But who do you get?
That's what I was going to get to is we went out and we got someone like Klinsmann and it ended up being a disaster. The only good thing that Klinsmann did was get young players to commit to us, which that we have to be thankful for. But in this regards, Berhalter clearly didn't have the intellect to run the team, like that in-game kind of management. I very much equate it to the gym teacher. His job was to put the arms around the shoulders and go, you play for the United fucking States. Love the fucking badge. Like that. And honestly, at that time where this team was, where they were coming from not qualifying for a World Cup, for fucking going out on tournaments, looking fucking horrible, it's kind of what they needed. Now they need something else. Who that person is, I do not know. I do not know yet.
Yeah, I mean, scratch and sniff Jurgen Love is probably the only person of quality available.
Yeah.
I think Roberto Martinez would honestly be a regression.
I agree.
I don't think he would help us tactically at all.
No.
You get one of the Dutch boys in, Goose Hiddink. They're always up for it. I don't remember which one's supposed to take over Holland next after Louis van Gaal, but shit, get Louis van Gaal in there.
Just not coming.
Yeah. I mean, I would just love for the boys to turn up for the first training session and Louis van Gaal's just naked in the dressing room. And they walk in, what are you doing here?
Bielsa.
Yeah. Love it.
Those guys will run for Bielsa.
I'm in.
Now,
he won't learn English to save his life, but I'm in.
Exactly. Now, here's the final question I have for you, because I want to keep going on to the rest of the matches, is how long before Weston McKennie and Yunus Musah are in the Premier League? Right
Depends
now, respectively play for Juventus and there's
Sevilla, I think, right?
No, Valencia.
Valencia.
And a little bit of a falling out with Juventus's manager as well. Doesn't particularly care for.
So
McKennie.
Weston McKennie, I think, will end up in the Premier League in the summer. There's an argument for him to remain in Italy, do some of that creative bookkeeping that the Italian clubs like to do by trading players around.
Right.
There is some interest, I think, from Germany as well. And then
Natural progression for American players to go to Germany too.
Yep.
They all play in the Bundesliga.
So it would not surprise me to see him end up at like Dortmund. And have the kind of
Wouldn't be a bad fit for him.
the McKennie Gio Reyna connection, especially because Jude Bellingham is attracting interest from Liverpool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're going to have
Bellingham's going back to England,
but they're going to have a hole, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dortmund specifically is going to have a hole, and if Juventus will sell him the cheap just to get rid of McKennie because him and the manager aren't getting on, be very easy fit because they're now I think Jude Bellingham's better, but they're the same type of player. Same type of midfielder.
And for Musah, do you think he's coming to the
I think somebody will need him.
He's only 20. That's the thing, though. He is just turned 21. The Iran match was his 21st birthday. And boy, you want to talk about if anybody had any other name in their mouth other than Musah for man of the match, fuck you.
Yeah. He was everywhere.
A lunatic in that match.
I don't know. I think it's hard. I think that work rate, especially for the position he plays, is going to be lost on a lot of Premier League teams.
I agree with
Those positions are the flash positions.
Yeah.
I think more or less he could earn a better Spanish team.
Oh, you know where else
like Atletico,
Red Bull,
Salzburg,
Leipzig,
Yeah. Okay.
That would be a team that would fit his.
I mean,
that's where Adams was for the longest time.
The work he gets through though, I think he's a perfect fit for Atletico.
Yeah. Don't disagree.
As a winger that'll track back, that'll put in a shift, that Diego Simeone would love him there, I think.
Yeah. All right, so let's keep it good.
My point is I could see him doing that versus coming to a Premier League team, because that's you think of some of the wingers that are out there, right, with Saka. Now, Saka does get through a fair amount of work, but that's why Arsenal wouldn't need him.
Right.
Everybody else in the, like Trossard, Sully, they're all kind of flash players. City, you look at Grealish, you look at Foden. They're a bit more skillful and flash. They don't really get through the amount of work that he does, and I think that quality would be lost on the Premier League, to be honest. They won't value it as much.
Let's keep it moving. Argentina eventually holds off Argentina eventually holds off the Aussies, but the Aussies gave them everything they could, man.
Oh yeah. I hark back to that. There's just something in your brain that's wonderful with all the tactics, all the bullshit, XG, all the stats. Get the big lad up front.
Just put the big fucker in there.
Put the tall guy in.
Just let him fucking get it done.
And it always still, to this day, as rudimentary and as archaic as it is, still causes teams problems.
It's when there's the end of the game and the goalkeeper comes up. You're like, and yet somehow he's involved in the goal. You're like, the man has nothing to do with corner kicks offensively ever, yet somehow comes out and it's not always Alisson where he scores the goal, but a lot of times it's like, he
they occupy space because they're big too.
Yep.
It's exactly the same principle. You're right. I thought with everything that happened, Emi Martinez for me was the man of this match. Hands down.
Definitely.
That save at the end was fucking brilliant. Yeah. They got a bit fortunate, but he did everything he was supposed to do. Came out quickly, made himself big. He hit his elbow, which is the fortunate bit, went straight down, but he was up quickly, able to gather. I mean, and what it meant to the Argentinian players. When he fell on that ball, when he finally gathered it in fully, two of them piled on top. Mm-hmm. Just thank you so much. You saved it. Because Argentina left it too long. They got their 2-0 lead, but they left it too. They didn't kill the game off.
And Argentina's never really always had a particularly good keeper. They've always had talented keepers, but normally ones who like to fuck it off.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but that's exactly it. South America's not really known for their goalkeeping.
No.
But you have three now that are excellent in Alisson, Ederson, and Emi Martinez.
Yeah.
Which you can't really say for any other South American side. They're usually, kind of more Ederson, but their outfield players turned goalkeeper is the way I would describe them.
No offense to Holland, but I feel like we're on a crash course for Argentina, Brazil in the semis.
Yes, I think so too.
And I think Argentina's doing just enough, figuring out just the right there. You know what Argentina's giving me the feels? Croatia in the last World Cup.
Yes.
Figuring out a way to win every single time, even though they shouldn't. Started off kind of poor, but they're just like, they just seem to constantly be there. And I bet you Brazil in the back of their mind is going, please let Holland beat them. We don't want to fuck with them.
Yeah, you know what I heard that was actually quite funny? I think it was in the Denmark game, the final group game. Mm-hmm. Around 70 minutes, there was a substitution made, and somebody brought on a piece of paper, pass a note to the captain. And somehow that note ended up on the Danish bench.
No shit.
And within 3 minutes, they made a sub of their own. I think it was that game. Don't quote me on that.
That was Denmark, Australia.
But they made a change in substitution, and they made a change in formation. Who did Argentina play in their last game?
Well, they played Australia to beat them.
No. In the last group game.
Oh, the last group game. Shit, I'm blanking. Sorry.
It might have been that game. It doesn't matter. Anyway,
Argentina beat Poland.
Yeah, I don't think it was them. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. But somebody asked the Argentina coach if he would have substituted Lionel Messi, and he said, "I don't substitute Messi unless he tells me he wants to be substituted." My point is that if you're trying to intercept a note, you might just want to hang out in the general vicinity of Lionel Messi, as opposed if you're playing Argentina, because you're not going to have a chance to intercept a note from the manager, because that's the most pointless position in football.
Yes.
Messi makes the fucking choices.
Senegal start ferocious, but once the Lions roared, it was fucking over.
So I loved the because it fit. the Irish kind of call to arms against the English. The Corkmen, Northmen, Southmen, come one, come all from Dublin, Cork, and Donegal, something like that, like against the English.
Right.
They replaced Donegal with Senegal, yeah, which is pretty good. And there was a lot of like fake pins going around the internet too. That was the Irish and Senegalese flags crossed. It was very funny. They did start great. I don't like when the African teams get knocked out because the tournament starts to lack.
Yeah.
They're fans of the African teams, especially South American. You can make it a pretty decent argument for. The European equivalent would probably be the Dutch.
African fans are the best. The African fans are the best.
But the African fans are the best, hands down. The most colorful drums, horns. It's just a massive party, and you can tell it's a massive party.
I don't know how much of the match they actually watch from the amount of dancing they're doing the entire time.
It's fucking brilliant.
I see them like doing circles. I'm like, how are you even watching the match?
I know. It is fantastic. And the match, the tournament, when the African nations go out, the tournament lacks. And it just, seeing the sad Senegalese faces made me sad. I wanted them to keep going.
Missing Mane is one thing, but in this match, they were missing Idrissa Gueye due to yellow cards.
That would have been huge.
That's it. I mean,
would have been huge.
The guy is the stability to that team, and especially at once the English got the first goal, you could just sense their whole midfield was taking over, and the one thing Senegal needed was somebody to steer the ship. And that guy wasn't there.
Yep.
That guy wasn't there ultimately. Oh, credit.
Their coach, though, is the fucking Snoop Dogg of soccer.
Oh, yeah.
Aliou Cisse. It played in England for Portsmouth as well at one point in his career. It's someone else, too. Portsmouth is the one I remember. But just the dreads. You know what else? I should say, in the build-up to this game, he missed 3 days' worth of training. The coach did because he was sick. So I wonder how much of that had played a part in.
Fair enough.
In this game, but he was, not even a tracksuit. It was full on sweatpants, sweatshirt, dreads out, baseball cap.
Yep.
I mean, this dude's just the coolest, tall and lanky.
Yep.
I mean, it's just the coolest motherfucker on the face of the earth right here.
I
love him.
I still tend to agree with you. I think, like you said, within the next 3 World Cups, we see an African nation win. I do not debate that fact at all. It's going to happen. Yeah. It's going to happen.
The African nations have had a lot of issues surrounding tribalism within their teams as well. I know we talked about, the kind of various language barriers and kind of riffraff in the Belgian squad with the kind of, the Dutch speakers versus the French speakers versus the German speakers, and just how difficult it is to find their identity within the Belgian team as a whole. And I know a lot of African nations have had that issue because there's so many, regional dialects of their native languages, and then late stage colonization in the 50s and 60s. That kind of shit has cast a very difficult kind of net, I guess you'd say, into these African teams. They also have to worry about parentage and losing some of their best players to France. Right. To Belgium, to, whatever other, name European country that carved up that continent to colonize. And it's a shame, and it's taken longer than it should, but with the prominence of some, quote unquote natural citizens of those countries, a lot of people like Jamaica, a lot of people like the United States are going to, former military members and saying, hey, you have Senegalese parentage. You have this, that, the other. Come play for us. And they're doing a successful job. Alex Iwobi in Nigeria is a prime example. Born in London. I don't know how much time he spent in Africa as a child, but speaks with an English accent. Was born in England, English citizen, but his dad's Nigerian.
Goes plays for Nigeria.
You're not going to play for England. Why don't you come play for us and just raise that profile a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. And now you're seeing that pay dividends. And it's been happening for Africa earlier than it has for the CONCACAF nations that we've seen, like Canada, Jamaica, the U.S. to an extent with some of the German-based players, John Brooks and a few others that were born in Germany, stayed in Germany most of their life, but are American citizens. Right. A lot of the African countries are doing that now as well. and that's paying dividends. And I think you're gonna. They seem so much more together than say Belgium or whoever.
France continue to impress, and I do not. I want England to do well. It is imperative to me that England does well, despite all the conversations that I've had over the past few days with English Twitter. There's no way in hell they're beating France. Mm-hmm. It's gonna have to. You're gonna have to really ugly. I just don't see.
Harry Maguire can match Giroud's physicality. The midfields are going to be important. No Pogba, no Conte. Obviously, they're both injured. Does Rabiot and Bellingham cancel each other out? Don't know. Griezmann's been dropping a little deeper. Can who neutralizes him? Can Declan Rice keep up with him? It's going to be a really interesting game. I think the English forwards are all quite good. But then you got Mbappe.
I don't know if the
Kyle Walker's job is going to be Mbappe the whole day.
I don't know if the two backs can handle Mbappe and Dembele.
Well, he's the only one
sidelines.
fast enough to do it, Kyle Walker. So that's going to be his job come Saturday.
I'm right now, and this obviously can all change by the weekend when the quarterfinals actually happen. I just don't see where this is not France versus Brazil. The way those teams have looked so far throughout the entire, and their third round match, they lost to a team that was going out, but it was all backups.
Yeah, and all played out of position as well.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of, it's almost like they purposely went out there and just kind of fucked the game off.
You want a funny betting story?
Yeah, please.
My brother lost a bet in the final 90 seconds of this game because he had an exact score, France 3-0, with Mbappe scoring 2 or more, and he was in. And then Poland were awarded a penalty 90 seconds from time. That penalty was saved, but Hugo Lloris was about 15 feet off his line.
Yep.
So it got retaken, and the final kick of the game fucked my brother out of $248.
Well, I need to be careful here because because we are on Facebook as well for our video. It's because your brother's a shit better.
Don't get a bullying again.
Yeah, I got. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, in our closed group, Drunken United FC, I got kicked off as an admin and put into suspension.
No, we kicked you off as an admin to save the group.
Right, because
like,
they were.
I definitely kicked you off. It wasn't Facebook.
Yeah, but I was suspended because of bullying because I told his brother he was a shit better, and they're like, "You're bullying." I'm like, it's a closed group where all we do is fuck with each other, for fuck's sake.
How do you expect to get listeners to this podcast when you're bullying his brother and you have shit opinions on Twitter?
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I gotta tell you, and I need to listen to better footballing minds like Stephen Fry out there in North London, because he clearly knows everything about everything. Because
don't forget,
because Ashley Cole is the greatest left back ever, which makes him the best in Premier League history.
Well, he is.
The stats mean nothing. It does not. It did not matter if Leighton Baines scored 200 goals more and conceded 400 less. He's shit.
Fake news.
Exactly.
Ashley Cole's
I mean, it's hard to argue with sound logic like that. It really is.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. But seriously, football Twitter, get in touch. We'd love to talk to you. Come to an agreement.
You want to say the Croatian keeper, good on you for saving 3 penalties. Those are probably the 3 softest fucking penalties. The third one, okay, he saves low to his left, and then he saves low to his right. On the 4th penalty, that guy going to take... Why on the earth is the ball on the ground? If he's already gotten it on both sides of the post low, you might want to put it, I don't know,
also
4 feet in the air. Just put it in the air.
Just strike the ball.
I mean,
I would have been
soft. You can hit it soft.
Listen,
just put it in the fucking air.
I would have been less disappointed if they just went up and rifled it as hard as they could straight down the middle. Just laces through it and put the keeper into the goal with the ball.
All 4
just
of
like,
his
what are
dives,
you doing?
All 4 of his dives. You know what? It's great. The next team that faces him in penalties knows exactly what the keeper is going to do. All 4 of his dives, he took the step out, reached long, and then went to the post on the ground. So you just know, put it high. He ain't fucking going high. You can put
It's
it. You can
so
put it
stupid.
eye level. He ain't going eye level. He's going low, and it was so terrible. So I want to give the Croatian keeper a bunch of credit, but it was also the three worst.
I could have saved those penalties. They were shit penalties.
Sam?
They were really bad.
Here's who got brought out of hibernation that you forgot about. Croatia, greatest defender in the world, Dejan Lovren, baby.
That's who it is. I forgot who he played for club team.
You know, we forget about his days at Liverpool, and
I'm the
his
greatest defender in the world.
but you have to remember the last World Cup, he did proclaim himself the greatest defender in the world.
Seems
And,
legit.
and you know what? Croatia survive in advance. This is exactly what they did in the last fucking. Problem is, you got Brazil next. You ain't surviving in advancing.
Ooh, they're fucked. Brazil?
Wow.
Brazil.
Wow.
If there ever was a warning shot for Croatia, it was this.
And
4-0 up at halftime.
And then it took a worldie after Allison made 3 fucking killer saves. I hate saying the remark I'm about to make right now. Allison is the best keeper in the world right now. It's not up for debate. The man's on fucking fire. He might be fucking it off for his club, but for country,
Well,
he is saving everything.
I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but
Yeah.
have you ever heard of Manuel Neuer, you dense cunt?
I bet you there's somebody on Twitter that thinks it's up for debate.
Yeah. You know where Manuel Neuer is right now? Home.
Yeah.
That's where he is. He's fucking home.
Did you hear what Richarlison was asked?
No, I did not.
Richarlison was asked after the Brazil's second game, what is he going to do when he retires? Don't know why, but he was. And he said, I'm going to buy an island and live on it with a lot of women. And all I could think of is how we could make it happen, that happens sooner rather than later, and how we can get Sven-Goran Eriksson bartending that party on a regular basis and have a video feed.
Making sexy drinks.
I love it.
It's a fucking
I'm
best.
fucking here for it. It's brilliant. Just so unapologetically Brazilian, that statement.
So, and
It's
then
great.
And then, real quickly, just a quick prediction because this is going to come out on Tuesday. The games have not played yet. We have Portugal is facing. Why am I forgetting who they're facing? I can't believe I'm fucking blanking.
It's all right. I'll pull it up for you.
Morocco is
Do
facing
fucking
Spain.
everything around here.
Morocco is facing Spain.
It's like our producers not have any intention of producing a goddamn thing, so I'll do it.
Morocco's
Portugal,
facing,
Switzerland.
there we go. Yeah.
It was
See?
so bland, y'all forgot.
It's white people.
White people talking night.
It's very forgettable. Yep.
Yeah, this doesn't taste authentic, does it?
It's, but I mean, but the Ortego sauce at the grocery store says authentic.
And then Morocco, Spain.
Yep, Morocco, Spain. That one I knew.
And that leads me tidily into my bet,
Good.
actually. Yeah.
Well then,
What do I think? I think Spain are going to bore the fuck out of everybody. I think Morocco will score, but I think Spain ultimately win like 3-1
Yep.
on the back of 605,000 passes.
and Portugal get a soft penalty to beat Switzerland.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then the fun part about the quarters is there's going to be some matchups where you're just like France fucking England. Put it in my veins. Fucking
Yeah.
Spain, Portugal. Put it in
I
my
still
fucking
have
veins.
France, England from the Euros of like 2004 on videotape. I
Yeah,
taped the
they're-
game.
They're fucking awesome.
It was awesome. I also got in trouble. Did I tell you this?
No.
I got called a mean person by my daughter by referring to the Germany-Japan game as the Axis of Evil Derby. Which I'm sure Hitler would be super happy with.
Sure money.
That's fucking funny.
We're going to hell. Hey, Sam, Abby doesn't approve.
She looks very disappointed in
Looks
me.
very disappointed.
And neither did Tegan. She was very upset. So,
Sam, do better.
all right. Sure money. This is where we make bets to better inform you about your bets and to help you out. With that, they are guaranteed to hit. Disclaimer, I'm down 200 so far. For our Premier League stuff, I'm down. How many weeks are we in? 14? I'm
14.
down 1,300.
Yeah, you're down
So,
1,300.
Take everything we say with a grain of salt, obviously. I did lose this past week. I got screwed by that last round of games, obviously.
Yeah, France, Tunisia.
Yeah, that was the one that fucked me over. So, Sammy, what do you have for your bet of the week?
So I pushed on my England beating Wales match because Saka didn't play, so Saka couldn't score. So that's a no bet.
Yep.
And I hit on Mexico and Argentina winning, and Mexico didn't advance. Made it even sweeter. So I am only down $58.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
And I'm ahead of you. And I'm not sure if you knew this, Sam. 33.3% of the time, it works. 100% of the time.
I like how I put in there 1/3 in the margins, just in case we didn't know that.
Well, hold on. Is this the third bet we're making, yeah?
I've made 4 bets so far.
Because
but
you
one
did
of them
separate
didn't.
one. I got you.
Everything I've done's been separate.
I got no parlay. I understood.
This time I am taking a parlay, though. It pains me, but honestly, I think France is too fucking good. I'm taking France to beat England and Mbappe to score at plus 282.
Okay.
I want England to win. I don't think they are.
Yeah. All right. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We got our friend Pat, as usual.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
Hey, buddy.
I have him. He's here.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Patrick, go.
He's connected to the board. He's unmuted. I don't know why we don't hear him.
Did he fall asleep?
I mean, we are that exhilarating of a show.
I know, right? You bang on about football Twitter all
Just
the time.
hang up
I mean,
and try and
I'm sure Steven is fast asleep right now. Nell as well. Nell would keep putting in remarks, and I never responded to him, so I think that hurt his feelings a little bit.
Hey.
Hey!
Oh,
Hey, there's Patty's on air.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah, I was watching on Twitter, and I'm like, nobody's called me. I'm not here.
You were on the phone.
We had you on hold, Pat.
No, I never got a call until right now. But whatever. We're good. We're good.
It's a good thing I have
Well,
all the
we're having a big
documents.
football Twitter talk, so we're just going to screenshot it and prove you wrong.
Facts don't matter.
Look at
Facts
that.
don't matter.
My alternative facts, 7:54, outgoing call, 2 minutes.
Yeah, Pat does not
minutes.
agree with that, so clearly it does not
Maybe
exist.
now-
Has his
maybe-
own
maybe-
facts.
And Ashley Cole's the best left back ever. That's all there is to it.
Maybe my phone's screwed up. I don't know. All right. Well, hey, what's going on, guys?
Nothing. What's up with you?
Uh,
All right, let's hear what you got. Did you win last week? Did you lose? What happened?
I did. I'm up 985.
Fuck
with
you.
that win.
He's winning like
Japan.
crazy. Fucking
know,
pick
only if I
Japan
could
to
win.
beat Spain.
Huh? I don't know, man. Because Japan, they just outrun you, right? I don't know.
Sound logic. You know what? He fucking got. You know what? He's doing better than both of us. So yes, sound logic.
that-
Great betting mind.
That feels like it might be problematic. Be careful.
Yep.
All right. Well, so I'm gonna take a pick every day too. Again, so I'll take Portugal minus a half a goal at minus 115, Argentina plus 115 over the Netherlands, and England over France at plus 210. And if you want to count the bet that I made today, which was a parlay, Japan and Brazil minus 2.5, that lost, but obviously because of a shootout.
Mm.
You can go ahead and
you
put
mean
that one on the board.
that was Japan Croatia?
He had a parlay
Yeah.
Japan Brazil.
Oh, okay. Both of them
yeah.
winning. Got it,
Winning,
got it.
winning.
My
Yeah, I
apologies. My
parlayed Japan
apologies.
winning again, and they had the lead going into halftime. And then it went 140 minutes. I can't keep track of
I
that.
had real money on draw,
Mm-hmm.
and they scored in the 43rd minute.
Oh,
Fucked my bet.
heard.
Plus 1,100.
Oh,
Was so annoyed. Sorry,
So
buddy.
you
Go
had
ahead.
you had to draw on Japan and Croatia.
I had draw, halftime, full-time result at plus 1,100. And Japan scored in the 43rd. Japan scored in the 43rd minute, which screwed me.
Oh, Wow.
Because they ended up winning the
how'd
first half.
Yeah.
How'd you do after you hit on Saturday morning?
I won another $400 yesterday on American football, and another 136 on Olivier Giroud scoring first.
There you
The
go.
France
You're like
game.
you're the only person I know that won yesterday on American football.
Oh yeah, I made about $1,000 this weekend in real money. That was dope.
Oh,
It's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, and
Go out there and
now I've got
It's gonna
the
be a good
itch.
Christmas at your house, huh?
Yeah, it'll be pretty decent. All right, so what are your
I get a loan on 20%, please?
yeah, 25 and you got a deal. All right, so what do you have going on here? Was that everything?
Yeah, that was everything.
Oh, that was the whole
what about,
nine.
What about the pool? How's the pool?
Oh,
going?
how is the pool going?
Pool's going good. The chicken's not doing good, so I think the chicken's out.
Yeah, I started picking crazy shit with the chicken. I just decided to have fun with that. I think
Yeah, and everybody
I
did
think
get
I
in.
had the chicken picking United States over England or something like that. Like, something fucking crazy.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
I had
only
them beating
problem-
Brazil. I had USA beating the chicken. I'm sorry, Kitty had USA beating Brazil to get to the final and beating England.
Nice. All right, so I have the actual stats in front of me. The business is on top right now with 27 possible points. 27 points from a possible 53. That's how fucking wild this World Cup is. Only about half of what he, you actually, your second set of picks is in second place on 23.
Very good.
Tied with you are
Yeah,
Brody.
But, hey, before you continue, real quick, I don't know if you misunderstood it or not, but your total goals for the entire knockout round is only 7.
Oh,
For your
okay.
second
Yeah,
pick?
well.
No tiebreaker for you.
No tiebreaker for me. You know what? Is it highest without going over? Maybe JB goes over.
I think it might be close, but
So you got 27. JB's got 27. You got 23. Brody's got 23. Dime Mineshaft, I don't know who that is, has 23. It's Coming Home has 23. All tied, right? I'm in sixth on 22 because of all you being tied there.
Nice.
One of my neighbors is on 21. Mike is on 21. I don't know who Janet is, but she's on 20. Firehawk on 20. Pat User on 20. HR's on 19. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people on 19 also. So it's still pretty interesting. There's still a lot to play for.
yeah, and then also the next column will show possible points too. So there's a lot of people that still have a lot of possible, scoring out there.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. That's exciting. It should be a lot of fun these next week and a half or
Well,
so.
I think my number 2 has France and Brazil in the final.
Yeah, I think mine had France and England.
Yeah.
I think I have
No, it would have
England
been
and
Brazil and England.
Or Brazil and England, rather. That's what I
Yeah,
meant.
I have Brazil and England.
I
and
think I had
England
Brazil and
winning.
England
Yeah.
in the final.
Just 'cause
And
I
Brazil
wanna
and
root for
Argentina in the
England.
semis on that side.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Thanks, dude. Really appreciate it. You have a lovely evening, and go win some money on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, right. Good luck with that.
All right, bro. I appreciate it. I'll talk to you.
All right, see ya.
All right, so I've got a 5-way parlay.
All right.
Just
what do
one
you got?
game, and we're getting it the fuck out of the way. It's happening tomorrow.
Heard.
I have Spain to win. Over a goal and a half in the game. Alvaro Morata to score at any time. Also, Alvaro Morata to have 2+ shots. Not on
Okay.
target necessarily.
Just shots.
Just shots. And then Sergio Busquets to complete or to have 110 or more passes.
Okay.
Plus 500.
There you go.
Yep.
Very good.
There you go. I'm getting right back into it with a $500 win, and then I'll take it over the next week with the final.
All right. Well, I'm going to hit
As
mine
I
and
usually
be,
do.
and be over 500, be over into the positive. So we'll see how that goes.
Yep.
None of us.
I'll
are
be back
touching-
in a positive too. I'll be plus 300 if it sits.
None of us are touching Pat though. That's the problem.
I'll get there.
None of us are touching.
You don't
Pat.
worry about that.
All right. Well, the good thing we have a chicken.
Well, Kitty got burned by 2 big upsets and sits at 2 and 4.
Cameroon and Tunisia
Yep.
both got her got.
Got her got. So the chicken is going for broke, and she's picking every game on the board.
Mel, they might say Barack.
No, they might. I won't.
Terrible.
Sam's got some bad jokes, dude.
We'll be saving them for injury time.
Yay, injury time. Come pay for bad jokes. Now, Tuesday, she is
Football
taking...
Twitter will love that.
She is taking
Steven, I know you'd really love it.
Spain and Portugal to advance in the quarterfinals, and she's taking
The
England
quarterfinals
to
as
beat
opposed to the
France.
quarterfinals. Because these are played in the corner of the room.
Yes, the quarterfinals.
Fuck's sake.
It's like Cold Reader.
You know what? I corrected the Ishgoy.
Okay, good.
So, back off, balls. England to beat France.
Back off balls.
Argentina.
Have another cocktail. Oh, I'm sorry. They're all gone. You drank them all last night.
Argentina to beat Holland and Brazil to beat Croatia. Gamble legally and responsibly, or don't. I honestly don't give a fuck anymore.
Championship corner.
There's no championship corner.
And I can't get up. Oh no!
We'd
Guess
just like
what?
to take this
There's
moment
no
to remind you
championship corner.
that Mexico is not in the next round of the World Cup.
Mel just had a...
Big Sam.
No!
Lock of the week.
I was hoping it was woe to fuck.
Hold on, I want to push a button too.
Just pick a random one. Well, that's
Championship
one.
corner.
I don't know what your buttons are.
Fallen.
Shit.
And I can't get up.
That was a lot
Oh,
lamer than it should have been.
All right, the show's gone long enough. We're fucking done. All right, Sammy, any parting words?
Nah, I'm gonna just moonwalk the fuck out of here.
Fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. So, everybody, hope you enjoyed yourselves. We went a little lengthy tonight, but it was fun. We're having a good time. You see, people have different opinions, and they voice those opinions, and they share those opinions in a forum in which that they can do. And I'm sorry none of you have the ability to create. I'm sorry for you. That you don't have that bone in your body to make something beautiful and to enjoy time with your friends and the family and the people that you have around you. Because the last thing this is what I know. We've built an amazing community here, and we have people who fucking love chatting with us. We love chatting with them. Everybody's really invested into what we're doing, and I'm invested in what we're doing. And I know both of you are invested in what we're doing.
Chat room says, hey, it's story time with Sam.
And I know for 5 years, I've got to sit down on these mics and talk to my two friends every fucking week. And I'm really fucking
Downgraded.
I've been downgraded in the friend zone.
For real, you've been friend zoned for a long time since he started sleeping with me. Also, what I'd say to your nice, heartfelt, warm, lovely sentiment is fuck you, you're fat.
Okay.
Football Twitter.
You know what?
And it's true because I said so.
It's December. I'm about to turn 50. The roast is coming. You know what? I deserve it.
You know,
hey, everybody.
Your fucking sentiment is turning the frogs gay. Okay?
Exactly. I put chemicals in the water. That's how it works. Sattery, apparently. Anywho.
Parody.
Steven, you're a wonderful human being, and I love you, and you're a great soccer mind, and I only wish and aspire that I could be you one of these days.
You should start charging your rent for that space he's taken up in your head.
Next up is injury time, and where we sit there and we're going to talk about Aki Stanley, one of the clubs we follow.
Stephen Fry some more.
Talking about the beers we drink, and honestly, I don't know what the fuck we're actually going to talk about because we already previewed the FA Cup, so we'll figure out something.
Oh, good. I got some news stories.
Yeah, we're just going to run our mouths for about like a half hour, 45 minutes, and
talk about football Twitter
if you
and
want
how the internet is not a safe place, Sam.
I think we'll probably get into gatekeeping in football. I think that'll be a fun topic to talk about.
Yeah,
because we also experienced a little bit of that when we were with the Baltimore the Charm City match with Baltimore up in Baltimore with Arsenal and Everton as well.
Everton, yeah.
There was a little bit of that as well. People who traveled over from across the pond were not really nice fucking people for the most part. So and
dare I say football Twitter personified.
Yeah, exactly. So anywho,
except for my friends that I talk to from my club are great people. JW, Shane,
yeah,
Baz,
some.
Everybody.
Yeah, Baz is awesome.
Baz is great. Baz is fucking good people. Baz is good people.
Very much enjoyed. Oh, by the way, Steven, you're a season ticket holder for 27 years. I've been in your local pub. I've drank a beer with Baz, so fuck yourself, okay? So next up is injury time. If somebody wants to find injury time, Sam, how do they go about doing it?
Very easy. It's patreon.com/DFO. Almost did the Twitter thing again. It's patreon.com/DUFootballShow to sign up. $5 gets you there, and it gets you both of our extra shows. Soundcheck, which is our actual soundcheck. Fun catching up from the weekend, that kind of stuff. And then Injury Time, which is traditionally our preview of the next round of EPL games. But we're going to be previewing a little bit of the World Cup stuff, get some other things off our chest, talk about football gatekeeping in this one. So it'll be fun.
Next week, we have Nicole coming in to join us.
Yes, we do.
A little bit about her exploration into picking a new Premier League club to support.
Yeah.
And
we have people lining up for round 2 of The Bachelor.
We got multiple people who want to be part of that. So
how do you incorporate the word football or soccer into Bachelor or Bachelorette? I can't figure it out. That's one for the drawing board, and we need a jingle.
All right. Well, I'll work on it.
All right.
Which means she won't.
Do it,
forget
bitch.
about it
What is it? What'd you say? Do it, bitch.
You'll forget you asked before I ever even think about it again.
She's not wrong. And by the way, Sam, that outro for Patreon, if I was soccer Twitter, I would let you know that apparently it was difficult. Till next week, everybody.
Fuck's sake. Good night.